Hi my loves, thanks for returning. As you know by the thumbnail, this video is going to be on Pat McGrath's new Sublime Bronze Ambition palette, and it is pretty much the companion palette or the mini palette that goes with the larger tin pan palette that she released in the latter part of 2017. So during this review I will speak about this mini palette. I will also have a quick demo and I will also have swatches. I'll leave timestamps below if you're interested in just going directly to the swatches and the demo, but if you're interested in hearing the review, then just keep watching. So let's just jump right into it. This palette retails for $55 on the Sephora website as well as the Pat McGrath website. Now while that $55 is still steep, it is cheaper than the $125 on her tin pan palettes that she released in the latter part of 2017. And for $55 you get a palette like this. It has the same type of packaging as the tin pan palette. Okay, it looks exactly the same. However, the tin pan palette, you get your shadows in a black lacquer box like this. But with this palette, you open it up. This actually is the palette. So you open it up and here are the shadows. Now the casing has that same black lacquer type of look, but as far as actually taking it out, it is actually, it's not made like that. It's just, this is the whole palette like this. And this is actually cute. This is magnetic. And you still have the little tie right here to actually close the palette. You do get a mirror, and she still didn't put the names of the shadows on the palette. You get a little clear slip thing, which is different from the tin pan palette. The tin pan palette, you get a cardboard with the names on the palette, which is okay with me. I'm totally fine with that. I'll just have to hold on to that little slip cover if I want to know the names. And the name of the palette is written on the front, and you do have the ingredients, you have the shelf life and all of that good stuff on the back of the palette. And you do have Pat McGrath's logo embedded right here. It kind of feels like it's raised print or something like that. Really nice. Overall, I think the palette is really nice, even though it is cardboard. And for $55 for 6 shades, while that is steep, I think that the shades that are in this palette are, I would say that they are superior to most, but that's a matter of opinion. You have to actually swatch the shadows to see if you agree. But I really enjoyed using this palette. There was only one shadow that actually gave me grief, and that was this color right here. I believe that's Illicit, and that had a lot of fallout and kick up, but that has never been anything to worry me. The matte shade right here, which is Throwing Shade, that shade did not have any fallout whatsoever. It was just a real treat to use. And so with the metallic shades, I just found this shade, and this shade to be very, very reflective. I found them to be more reflective than the metallic shades in the larger tin pan palette. Now I'm not speaking about the shades. Let me show you. So here's the tin pan palette. Now I'm not talking about these shades right here with that had the more chunkier consistency. I'm talking about these shades right here. I found that in the mini palette they're more reflective, and I'm sure that it was just meant to be like that. I really enjoyed using those in the mini palette better. It just had a cooler look to me. And to get this look on my eye, I did use both of these palettes. I used the big palette because it had the deep shade color in here, and it had the black and all of the other colors. I used this palette. Now what I found is with the metallic shades, you really didn't need to wet your brush to get that shiny type of look. However, in order to make it look extra foiled, I did use Lit, and most people use Fix Plus, or they just wet their brush with something. I just wet my brush with with Lit. It's just a glitter base, and then I apply my shadows like that. And I like to use that because it just makes the color stand out more. I don't use a lot of it. I just wet the brush just a little bit, just a little, and then apply my shadow, and then apply it on my eye. And then to me, it just gives the most beautiful look. And again, even without using the lid, you will see in the demo, if you just want a normal type of everyday look where you just have them blended in and where they kind of transition smoothly into one another, you could actually do that for like a everyday look. But if you want to go out or something like that, you could wet your brush and kind of go for a more dramatic look like what I have on right now. As far as the other two mini palettes, I would like to get those. I'm kind of on the fence as far as the hot pink one that she has, only because I've heard from a lot of people in reviews with that hot pink matte shadow that it's not performing as well as they would have liked, that it's dry, etc., etc. So I'm gonna wait and actually go into the store and swatch that palette. If I decide to get it, I will review the palette and actually show you all how it performs and actually talk a little bit about it. But before I end this video, I'm going to actually hold up both of these palettes so you can actually see how similar the palettes are. Okay, so here they are side by side. And you do have two shades that are similar, but when you do swatch the shades, like I said, the shades in the mini palette, the metallic shades are very foiled. They're very reflective. You'll actually see that when I do the swatches, how reflective and shiny they are. They're just really pretty. Overall, I think that she did an excellent job in actually making this little mini palette to be a companion palette, if you will, to this larger palette. It just gives you more to work with, especially since she added this middle shade right there in the middle, throwing shade. It is just really seen to me as a companion palette, and it just works really well together. So that is pretty much it. If you're interested in seeing the demo and the swatches, please hang around, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut out. Thank you so much for stopping by to check out this review, and until my next video, smooches.
You're kidding. Little punk tries to throw me off a train. We get into a fight and he falls off. Cops ask me why I did a thing like that. I tell them why. For 3 hours, I tell them why. They don't believe me. Tries to throw me off a train. We get into a fight and he falls off. Cops ask me why I did a thing like that. I tell them why. For 3 hours, I tell them why. They don't believe me. You're kidding. Little punk tries to throw me off a train. We get into a fight and he falls off. Cops ask me why I did a thing like that. I tell them why. For 3 hours, I tell them why. They don't believe me. Punk tries to throw me off a train. We get into a fight and he falls off. Cops ask me why I did a thing like that. I tell them why. For 3 hours, I tell them why. They don't believe me.